That's the power of positive thinking right there. Good morning and welcome back, everybody. Skip day 8, we're on day 9 of the Chevy build. What I've done since the motor mounts on the last video is I'm starting to work on the fuel and electrical system, doing the plumbing and getting the wiring cleaned up and isolating the ones I need to make the small block run. I'll go ahead and duck in the engine bay here and we'll show you what's going on. First off, I have my fuel pressure regulator mounted right here. This takes the high pressure, or relatively high pressure, from the in-tank pump for fuel injection and reduces it down to between 3 and 6 psi. Carburetors are usually happy at 4.5 or 5, depending on their flow rate and the performance of the engine. You need to go a little bit higher, but you shouldn't really ever exceed 6 psi at a carburetor, because you can over pressure the float bowl and needle and just flood things out. So this one is factory set, I think, at 5, and that's what this screw right here is for. This is your adjustment for the pressure. And then you follow the line down. I'm starting to get the fuel lines from the tank loomed, and this is the feed line. I've got a compression fitting and an MPT barb on it. Then just short runs of rubber hose. You want as little rubber hose as possible going from connections. You want to keep it steel as long as you can. Then down here, and I haven't mounted this up yet because I'm waiting for, I had a hard time finding the barb fitting for a 5/16, but this return line is 5/16, and when I get the part, it's Amazon, should be here today, that's just going to mount up right beside the feed line, and that goes to this lower port for a return, and then this is the output to the carburetor. Pretty straightforward. Now on the mounting side, these hoses are bent in a weird direction. If I just let them lay naturally, it would be up against the firewall. So if you see here, I built a little standoff with a piece of rubber and used this clamp, rubberized clamp, to hold the pipe off the firewall. And then when I tuck it back here, I'm going to put a clamp down here. I can orient it so that the lines are tied up against the inner footwell here, and here this is all standing up nice and vertical, so that'll work out really well. Well, that's the fuel system to date. The next part is the wiring. I pulled all the old electrical tape, or most of the old electrical tape and loom, off of this stuff, and I'm replacing it and pulling out the wires I need to make this thing run. Primarily, this here, this used to be the, oh goodness, what was it? I think this was the TPS wire, and this purple, no, I'm sorry, this one here went to the back of the old HEI distributor. This was one of the, this is the tack feed and fuel relay trigger for the TPS, or for the distributor. And what I need out of this wire is just this white and purple. That, on throttle or fuel injected applications, sends a trigger to the fuel pump that once it's first prime, its power up is done to let fuel go, and this is ignition triggered. So this is engine triggered. As soon as the distributor starts spinning, it sends a tack signal out to this wire, and that lets the fuel pump go ahead and flow at its normal rate. Essentially, it activates the fuel pump to the injectors. But that needs to go to the tack input of my HEI distributor on the small blocks. So the purple and white wire from the old HEI goes to the tack input on the new HEI. Then over here, this is the oil pressure sensor right here wire, so I need that one. These here, I don't think I need anything out of these, so they'll probably just get taped up to this bundle and held out of the way. Then down here you've got the starter wires. This bundle here is essentially useless. This was all the sensors and triggers for the computer, the fuel injectors, the throttle position sensor, the ignition coil. There's only a couple, 3 things I need out of this loom. I haven't found one yet, but let's see where they're at here. This one right here, this is the temperature sensor. So I need that to go to the new sensor on the small block. This one here I've got cut and feathered back and taped up. These are the actual fuel injector wires on the old throttle body, so I don't need those. Got a ground strap here I need to find a home for on the manifold. This is the old computer harness. Then over here, this is the melted air conditioning switch, which has to be replaced when I get the AC fixed. This one here, not exactly sure about. It appears to have been replaced at some point because this is not in the bundle with anything else. Then you have various other wires to the coil. What I need to do is find the power wire for the TPS, which I think is this pink one right here. Don't quote me on this yet because I haven't looked up the schematic, but this pink one, or possibly, where did it go? I think it's either that one or one of these is going to be the power unit to the new HEI. So that'll be the constant ignition triggered wire for the distributor for Spark. So like I said, I need to go through some schematics and figure out exactly which one's which there. And then this just goes inside the other side of the firewall, heater hose connections and all that, lights, etc. body. I do have the power distribution panel remounted to the firewall up here with the fuel pump relay and then various other wiring. So that's already mounted up. So the rest of today is cleanup and looming. Once I get everything buttoned up here, I'm just going to start cleaning out the garage, get the old motor put in the corner, get the new motor pulled out, and get ready, because once this is done, man, it's ready to put the engine in. So we are making definite progress. I'll check back with you in here a little bit. Okay, so I finished pretty much taping up all my exposed wiring, except for things that I'm either not sure of what they are or things that I know I need. This wire here goes to the AC condenser. This one here is just loomed. All these sensors I didn't cut out. I didn't know what they were, so I just taped them into the loom. This one, let's see, that's my alternator leads, main battery power. It's a one-wire GM alternator, so it just has this one, and it's knackered up really bad. I'm going to have to repair that, definitely. And I did find, I think, my other wires for the distributor power, coil power. This pink one / red weather faded should be a 12 volt constant, or sorry, I keep saying that, a 12 volt ignition switched power. There's a wire here that was part of that harness. I think it's just a ground. I'm going to keep that in place and ground it if I need to. This one here was in the same bundle and have no clue what it goes to, so I didn't cut it. This right here, this is the oil pressure sender right here. I think this was just a fusible link right here. It just goes, I think it goes to the either the cruise control or the wiper motor. So I think I didn't cut that out either. Then we talked about the fuel pump wiring. I found this hold down that was part of the factory stuff I'd pulled out when I was cleaning up my tools. So that's going to help me keep these two in place, but I need to attach it to the firewall, drill a hole out and pop it in. It's got little clips behind it, or run a screw right through the middle of it straight into the firewall. That's actually what I might do. And then down here, as you can see, these two pipes are going to tuck nice and neat right up against the footwell, and that gives me the perfect spacing there, and none of my hoses are touching the body, the metal tube, so no possibility of chafing, which was my biggest concern. You want to, especially with fuel wiring, make sure it's not going to rub anything, vibrate, chafe, whatever. Now, good news is my little adapter for the 3/8 feed I need to go to the fuel regulator return showed up early, and I've got my son bringing it over to me right now. So I'll be able to get this fuel system completely buttoned up today, I'm pretty sure. Making good progress. As you can see, I got all this nice and taped up, looking somewhat presentable. And then I've got mystery wires over here. I still have no idea what they go to. There's another fusible link right there, and then this guy here, no clue. Figure that out when I start adding stuff back on after the engine's in. So this one over here, I need to get this tape off of all this and then start taping this loom up for the headlights, washer fluid bottle, etc. So yeah, definitely making good progress. And also, pleasant surprise, I was able to find, not like I had to search for it, but the first time I looked, I can get a whole new wiper motor assembly, because this arm here was completely broken. for only like 40 bucks. So I can get a whole new wiper linkage pretty cheap. I was pretty down yesterday, that's why I didn't post a video. I was just, you know, going through the normal motions, and yesterday was a down day for me. I didn't get a lot done, but I did get some stuff done today. Old motor tucked back in the corner, new motor pulled out of the corner, in position. So that's the power of positive thinking right there. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up a little bit, have some lunch, and when I get that fuel pipe that I need here put on, I will show you the end result of the fuel wiring, and that'll be it for today. But God, in just 2 hours today, I made more progress than the entire day yesterday, and I feel much better about that. So I'll see you here in a little bit. Okay, they were gonna call this the end of day 9, but a lot has been accomplished. I have the fuel system completely plumbed, regulator, this is my output to the carburetor, input from the fuel pump, and outlet fuel return. I've got this standoff block on the firewall here. I am going to get a little piece of something, maybe hard plastic or something, and put it over this as a cap, because this one, I don't know, I just want to. But then down here I've got the fuel lines attached to the body, which they were never before. When I bought this truck, these things were all dangling loose. So these are now, they've got rubberized clamps on them around the hose, and they're attached firmly to the firewall or tub, whatever. So fuel system complete. Wiring went over already. The loom and tape has all been put in place. I got this side here already put back in place, taped up with new loom on it. I am going to have to get some more loom for the wires going down to the transmission. I mean, it's still here, but it's just so dry rotted and nasty. I want to get it cleaned up and protected. Went over the wires. We got my wires I need isolated. I just need to get the pigtail off of my distributor and get these spliced over. In the process of looming, I discovered where a couple of these other wires go. This one here is for the little trouble light that mounts to the firewall right over here. Forgot that existed. This is my only one left. I have no idea where this goes. I cannot find it yet. It's a fusible link. Absolutely cannot find a wire for it anywhere, so I don't even remember disconnecting it. It may just be unnecessary right now. So this is the end of my second vacation day working on this, or stint. I got to go back to work tomorrow, but I'm glad I got all this done, because my goal for the end of this weekend was to have it in a situation where I could put the motor in, and I have done that. The only hanging part right now is still this bolt here. I gotta drop the cross member or whatever, gotta get that nut on the back side of it or figure out a way to get that one tightened down, but that's not going to stop me from putting the engine in, because all the work I need to do on that is underneath. So very happy, things are going along good. Just need to get a couple of zip ties up on the fuel line there to get them together. Progress. Tired, but I feel like I actually accomplished something for my effort today, unlike yesterday. So thanks a lot for checking in with this, everybody. As usual, please like, share, and subscribe. And you know, I'm posting this up to 3 platforms: BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube. So anybody watching it on those platforms, use the appropriate tools at your disposal. I would appreciate a subscription, a like, a follow, anything you'd like to do, comment. And I'll close this one out, and we'll see you guys next weekend, possibly, and you know, probably putting a motor in this guy. Have a good day.